Hi, my name is Susie and I'm a first year at the University of Warwick. Now, when I was doing research into, like university life, what it's like, what I should be budgeting for and things like that, one of the things I really struggled to find information on was food. It seemed like the places I was looking, either they really didn't go into specifics of the meals they were eating and stuff, or they went so specific with these beautiful meals which took hours to craft and was all handmade from scratch, required loads of ingredients and time and energy. And I just knew that some of that stuff just wasn't viable for me. And coming to university, I'm at the point now where if something takes more than half an hour of active preparation to make, chances are I'm not interested in it. I like things that, are healthy enough, that are tasty enough, but also things that are quick and easy because you're at university, you're doing a lot of stuff, and so spending an hour creating some masterpiece probably isn't high on your priorities. So I thought today I'd go over, how I look at making food, some of the meals that I like, and some of the meals I go for. And, either maybe this will give you some ideas for meals that you could try, or maybe this will just kind of let you know what the standard is, or what my standard is. I can't speak for everyone, obviously. I will include some of the recipes if I have them in the description, but some of these are just recipes I've picked up, and I'm sure, people out there will have recipes they've picked up. Without further ado, let's get into it. The first thing I'm going to very quickly mention, because, it's not really worth talking about, is snacks. I try not to have too many snacks because it's so very easy when you're revising or whatever to just, if you have food there, you'll just eat it, and I'm trying to be somewhat healthy with it. But yeah, the kind of things that I normally have for snacks is I'll have dried fruits and dried nuts. That's good for making me feel healthy. Breadsticks, crisps, cereal bars, anything like that. Anything which is just grab and go to tide me over to the next meal. Now, I'm sure a lot of people, when they were talking about food, would then kind of split their video into breakfast, lunch, and dinner. However, I am not going to do that, merely because I am very bad at having a lunch food at a lunch time, or a breakfast food at a breakfast time. I used to find that when I was kind of sticking with this idea of I have to have the right food for the meal I'm having, I would end up just skipping meals because I'm really not a fan of breakfast foods. A lot of the times, at lunchtime I'd be like, well, I don't really want a salad or a sandwich or something. So it's just easier for me if I have 3 meals a day. Sometimes that does mean that I'm having spaghetti bolognese at 8 a.m, but I'm getting the food I need, and personally that's healthier for me. So with that in mind, I'm going to instead split my video into the kind of rating the food from least effort to most effort, I guess. First of all, we will start with then the whack it in the oven, then we are going to go on to minimal effort, and then finally we are going to go on to the bulk make it and then freeze it. So the first category is whack it in the oven, and as the description entails, this is the super easy stuff. Get it out of the freezer, put it in the oven, and basically just wait for it to be done. This is really useful if you're in the middle of doing something because you can just put it in the oven, set a timer, and forget about it. So that's nice to, not have to be constantly involved in the process. Things that fall into this category would be pies, chicken nuggets, pizza, breaded fish, anything like that which you can just get from the frozen aisle, put in the oven. I'll often do chips with this and also in the oven, and then when there's a couple of minutes left on the stuff in the oven, I'll then put peas and sweet corn or something. I'll do those in the microwave, and that all comes together to make it a pretty decent meal. Next up is the things that will take minimal effort. So you will have to do some cooking for this, but genuinely nothing that will take you more than like half an hour. First up in this kind of category would be the stuff that, the real bog standard, like soups, sandwiches, beans on toast, anything like that, which is very, very easy. You're also going to have pasta. I absolutely love pasta, so I eat quite a lot of it. Things like pesto pasta, mac and cheese, and tuna mayo are my three top kind of pastas to have. As well as that, you are going to have the university staple of instant noodles. I know when I came to uni, I was very much like, oh no, I'll be cooking all the time. I won't need to have instant noodles and things like that. It does the job, 3 minutes waiting for the water to do its stuff with the noodles. It does its job when you want some food, but you don't want to really put much effort into it. You also will have just seen me making stuffed peppers, which is another one of my favourites. It requires a little bit more effort, but, not that much. You can do things like frying up onions, frying up beef to put in there. You can also stuff mushrooms, which I've done before and is quite nice. But honestly, a lot of the time I'll just stick with very basic ingredients like rice, cheese and that. It does the job, it's tasty. Another thing which is tasty, but another thing that something that I've only quite recently tried is these kind of like pre-made salad kits. I am someone who I don't like buying like pre-made things if I could have done it myself, because I don't like spending the money when I'm like, well, I can chop up vegetables. But salad kits is kind of one of the exceptions to that, where, I'm not going to buy like 10 different vegetables just to put in salads, because I don't eat that much salad. It wouldn't be worth it for me. It would take too much time for me to cut it up. If I did, I wouldn't be motivated to actually sit there slicing things up for like 10 hours or whatever. So instead, I've started buying these salad kits, and I'll have salads, like a couple of times a week now. And it's really nice. The ones that I get, they are a little bit, they're probably less healthy than just eating raw kale, because they have, like nice like sauces to go on them. They'll have like rice crackers or like little tortilla chips, like little croutons or stuff. But honestly, at the end of the day, I've never been so excited to eat vegetables. It's not like just a health thing for me, although it's nice that I am eating more vegetables, but it is just something that it's quick and easy, and it makes me happy when I eat it, which is kind of the goal, I guess. So finally is the category for things that I'll just make in bulk and then chuck them in the freezer. I'll never make any fewer than probably about 4 portions of any of these, because they do take a bit more effort, but then once you've made them and frozen them, then all you have to do whenever you want to eat them is just take out the freezer, put it in the microwave to defrost it, and then, put on your carbohydrate of choice to go with it. There are lots of kind of recipes out there, and I would recommend going to your favourite recipe site and seeing if there is like a freezable tag, because you can find a lot out there. I've tried quite a few different recipes so far this year. My favourite ones have been a Madras curry, chicken biryani, Thai green curry, enchiladas, and this kind of Mexican chicken tray bake thing. Those have all been lovely, and, as I said, really nice to have kind of like that ease of just being able to chuck something in the microwave, but actually have it be like a nice meal that you put effort into. Because a lot of this stuff keeps for a really long time in the freezer as well, it means I can have like a wider variety of meals just ready to go, whereas if I just kept it in the fridge, then I'd be having to eat it like every single day until it went off. So yeah, you kind of avoid that all by putting it in the freezer. The things that I will make above all else in this category are chili con carne and bolognese. I'm actually somewhat known in my flat now for every 2 weeks, 3 weeks or something, I will of an evening, I'll set aside like 2 hours or something, and I'll make 4 portions of bolognese, 4 portions of chili con carne. So at any given point, I probably have a fair few portions of that in my freezer. It's really nice to just get it all out, all the cooking kind of out of the way in one chunk, because then, the rest of the time you're eating something that you've put energy into, it's really healthy for you, you know exactly what's gone into it, but you don't have to actually put the time into cooking it. You just microwave it. It's very nice. So that has been my very quick, and I realise it might have been a bit too quick, overview of the kind of things that I eat at university. I hope, maybe this has given you some ideas for things you could try, but if not that, then I at least hope that this has helped reassured you that, cooking at university isn't as daunting as it seems. I know that kind of going from, having someone else cook for you to like having to cook for yourself can be a bit scary, because I went through that obviously, but cooking for yourself as opposed to, getting takeaways, getting ready meals or whatever, it's a lot more cheap in the long run, but it doesn't mean you have to sacrifice all your time. You can get recipes out there which are tasty, which are quick, which are healthy, and which are cheap all at the same time. So, I hope this has been useful to you, and I hope that you have a good time in all your cooking adventures.